It's Ada. Holy crap, it's Ada. We're gonna cut straight to the chase with her. She's one of my favorite legends. I absolutely love playing her for a whole number of reasons. Her design is badass, she has two weapons I love using a lot, and to be honest, I could call her a pocket pick. Well, sort of. But first, let's talk about the main reason I love Ada. Sigs. You knew it was Sigs. We always go in order. Spear and Sig covers a really huge area and sends downwards. Remind you of something? Seriously, it's an incredibly great Sig. It covers a lot of dodges as well. Even I wouldn't know how to counter it. It's one of her best Sigs for sure. Spear Side Sig is probably her worst Spear Sig, honestly, but it isn't bad. It hits decently hard and still in a good area in front of her. Hell, it might catch some people off guard too. I could say the same for Down Sig as well. Remember those get off me Sigs I always mentioned in the past? Well, here's another one for you. It doesn't really cover you too much above, but it's basically a Sig to keep the enemy off the ground. Both In Sig and Down Sig feel like they have a crazy amount of force, but you know what? I'm fine with that. At least for Ada. Blaster In Sig is very strange. I mean, it's easy to understand, but it's just her worst one. It hits a bit too far in my opinion, and I think it'd be a much better Sig if it hit more closer to Ada. It's still a great Sig though, it sends downwards, so that's an upside. Blaster Side Sig is absolutely amazing. It goes true with Downlight, which isn't too bad since it's only at low damages, but the Sig itself can kill really early whenever you want it to. Even when not, the enemy's still really far off stage. And with a character like Ada, edgeguarding isn't a bad option. Down Sig I can see people saying it's bad for how slow it can be, but I personally think it's a really good zoning tool. Doesn't kill too early, but honestly, I think the Sig wasn't ever really meant for killing. I mean, you're using blasters and spear already, so your options aren't limited. Once again though, it's great for zoning. Overall, I've got to say, both the weapons go extremely hard. A lot of the time I base it off stats or just how good the weapon is in general, but since spear and blasters are about the same balance-wise, then either pick will work well, at least for Ada. She's got loads of skins. In fact, she's got some of the best skins in the game. Honestly, I think people are going to hate my picks, but let's blast through them. S tier has Atlantean, Vixen, and Technomancer Ada. Oh my god, these skins. I fucking love these skins. Vixen being my favorite. Pretty Good has just Fatal Error and Attention Ada. I know people don't really like Fatal Error. Honestly, I think the skin has good color swaps along with good weapons. Detention Ada it's just fan service, but still awesome. Mid tier has Stormlord, Wasteland, Lovelaced, and Astral Core Ada. These skins I think are pretty good overall, but just lack some touch in them that would have made them better. Med tier has everyone's favorite Ada skin, DJ Ada. The glasses look really stupid, and the hat. Even the weapons are just plain bad. Seriously, I don't know why people like this skin more than some of her other skins. Then Get Out tier has Heat Blast. This crossover is honestly just one of the most lazy attempts at a crossover yet. The only thing he's good for is fire-based Sigs. That's it. I mean, the blasters would start a horrible trend of really bad Blaster Legends skin setups, because fire just doesn't work. It's one of the worst crossovers in my opinion. Tier list wise, out of SA, B, C, and D, I'd place Ada in just high B tier. It's another one of those cases for a Legend in B tier. They have decent weapons, and honestly one of the best Sig kits I've seen in a while. So why is Ada not placed higher? Well, of course, it's the stats. 6 attacks, 3 defense, 7 dex, and 6 speed. What Spear Blaster Legend needs 7 dex? Seriously, there's so many legends in the game that have a crazy amount of unnecessary dex that if they didn't have, they'd be so much... Wait, I said this in the last analysis, right? 4 attack, 6 defense, 5 speed, and 7 dex. What Blaster Orb Legend needs 7 dex? Seriously, there's so many legends in the game that have a crazy amount of unnecessary dex that if they didn't have, they'd be so much better. I need to stop that. Seriously though, dex doesn't support either weapons, and it's what makes Ada sit at the top of B tier. I guess you could say the Spear gets Sair and Neutralite with dex, but that's at like 4 dex. Like, come on. Almost every Spear legend can do that. Nair Dare isn't too helpful either, and the criminally low amount of defense doesn't really help. Although, I think the speed and attack are perfect. All I can say is, never run any other stance than defense, you need to live longer. Using dex is pointless, attack takes out of defense, and speed takes out of attack. You could use speed stance, but, you know, it's just kind of a waste. Regardless, I don't think that her stats are the reason people don't play her. It's just that she isn't a liked legend, for whatever reason. I mean, even her design is decent. Of course though, from people just not liking her whatsoever, she sits ever so snugly in the below average play rates. Honestly, I remember it being way worse, but the Battle Pass brought it up just a bit. Before the Battle Pass, it was at 0.92%, near the bottom 10. But honestly, you tell me, why don't you like Ada? I want to hear from people who don't enjoy Spear or Blasters, or hell, even enjoy both weapons but just simply don't like her. For me, it's just gotta be the defense. But she's still too fun to avoid for me, based off Sigs and weapons. In fact, I haven't played her too much lately. I should probably get back on that Ada grind. Either way, thanks for watching this Legend analysis. Weapon analysis is coming next week, and I've yet to decide what it is. Although my recent interest in a specific weapon might bring it up as the next analysis. Thanks for watching, and of course, keep on brawling.